Yo, what's good, YouTube fam? Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the stories of legends who've shaped our culture and inspired us all. Today, we're celebrating the incredible life and legacy of a true multi-hyphenate. Actor, director, musician, poet, and all-around icon, Malcolm-Jamal Warner. If you grew up watching The Cosby Show, you know him as the one and only Theo Huxtable. But there's so much more to this man's story. So grab a snack, get comfy, and let's take a journey through the life of a star who left an unforgettable mark on Hollywood, music, and Black culture. Hit that subscribe button, and let's get into it. Malcolm-Jamal Warner was born on August 18, 1970 in Jersey City, New Jersey. His name? A powerful nod to two legends, Malcolm X and jazz pianist Ahmad Jamal. Talk about starting life with some serious inspiration. Raised primarily by his mom, Pamela, who was also his manager, Malcolm caught the acting bug early. By age 9, he was already stepping into the spotlight, appearing in shows like Fame and Matt Houston. Can you imagine being that young and already chasing your dreams? His big break came when he was just 13. Picture this. NBC is holding a nationwide search for the perfect kid to play Theo Huxtable, the only son of Cliff and Claire Huxtable, on a new sitcom called The Cosby Show. They wanted the tall, 16-year-old, 6'2" kid. Malcolm? He was a 13-year-old, nowhere near that height, but his talent was undeniable. He auditioned on the very last day, and guess who handpicked him? Bill Cosby himself. That's right, Malcolm became Theo, and the rest is history. The Cosby Show wasn't just a sitcom. It was a cultural phenomenon. Running from 1984 to 1992, it gave us a glimpse of a Black middle-class family that was relatable, aspirational, and hilarious. Malcolm's portrayal of Theo, the lovable, sometimes goofy son, earned him a Primetime Emmy nomination in 1986 at just 15 years old. He brought so much heart to that role, showing Black kids they could dream big, whether it was college, a career, or just figuring out life. Malcolm himself said the show legitimized the Black middle class for both Black and white audiences, and tens of thousands of fan letters poured in, thanking the cast for representing real families. Now, Malcolm could have easily been typecast as Theo forever, but this man was not about to be boxed in. After The Cosby Show, he jumped into a new sitcom, Malcolm and Eddie, alongside comedian Eddie Griffin. From 1996 to 2000, he played Malcolm McGee, a straight-laced guy balancing his wild friend Eddie. The chemistry was fire, and the show ran for 89 episodes, proving Malcolm was a leading man in his own right. But wait, there's more! Malcolm's resume is stacked. He played Curdy Malloy in the sci-fi drama Jeremiah, voiced the producer on the Magic School Bus, and even popped up in Community as Andre, rocking a Cosby sweater as a nod to his past. Talk about meta. He also took on dramatic roles like Al Cowlings in American Crime Story, The People vs. O.J. Simpson, prison counselor Julius Rowe in Suits, and Dr. A.J. Austin in The Resident from 2018 to 2023. That last one? Huge. The Resident hit Netflix in 2024 and shot to the top of the streaming charts, showing Malcolm's staying power. What I love about Malcolm is how he didn't just act, he created. He stepped behind the camera directing episodes of The Cosby Show, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Kenan and Kel, and even Sesame Street. He also directed a powerful 1992 public health video, Time Out, The Truth About HIV, AIDS, and You, with stars like Arsenio Hall and Magic Johnson. This wasn't just a side hustle. It was Malcolm using his platform to educate and uplift. Y'all, Malcolm-Jamal Warner wasn't just an actor. He was a musician and a poet. At 26, while working on Malcolm and Eddie, he picked up the bass guitar. He told ForBassPlayersOnly.com that the bass chose him because it was the sound that always hit him as a kid. He formed a jazz funk band called Miles Long and performed at major spots like the Playboy Jazz Festival and the Apollo Theater. In 2003, he dropped his debut EP, the Miles Long Mixtape, followed by Love and Other Social Issues in 2007. But the real flex? In 2015, Malcolm won a Grammy for Best Traditional R&B Performance for Jesus Children with Robert Glasper Experiment and Layla Hathaway. A Grammy! That's not just a win for him, it's a win for every artist who refuses to be put in a box. Then in 2022, his spoken word poetry album, Hiding in Plain View, got a Grammy nomination for Best Spoken Word Poetry Album. This man was out here collecting accolades like Pokemon cards. What's so inspiring about Malcolm's music and poetry is how he used it to express parts of himself that acting couldn't. He told Questlove Supreme in 2023 that poetry and music gave him a different voice to share his truth. Whether he was riffing on the bass or spitting bars about Black identity, Malcolm was always real, always raw. In June 2024, Malcolm launched the Not All Hood podcast with co-hosts Viuzi Baraka and Candace Kelly. This wasn't just another celebrity podcast, it was a platform to explore the diverse experiences of Black Americans. From mental health to Black love to the history of twerking, Malcolm and his team tackled it all with honesty and vulnerability. He told people that the podcast was a space to show a side of himself fans hadn't seen, saying, "It's where I feel safe enough to be as vulnerable as I allow myself to be." In one of his final episodes, released just 2 days before his passing on July 20th, 2025, Malcolm dropped a powerful gem. Black survival in of itself is Black excellence. He challenged the idea that excellence is just fame or money, instead celebrating the resilience of Black culture. That's the kind of wisdom he brought to every episode, and it's no wonder the podcast resonated with so many. Not All Hood wasn't just about conversation, it was about community. Malcolm wanted to combat stereotypes and show the full spectrum of Black life. He was out here building bridges, sparking dialogue, and leaving a legacy that went way beyond the screen. Malcolm-Jamal Warner's life wasn't just about fame, it was about impact. He was a mentor, a father, and a friend to so many. His Cosby Show co-stars like Tracy Ellis Ross and Eddie Griffin shared heartfelt tributes after his passing, calling him warm, gentle, and someone who made the world a brighter place. Even Bill Cosby, despite the controversies, spoke of Malcolm's talent and the bond they shared, saying he was gutted by the loss. Malcolm was also a dad to a daughter he kept private, but he spoke openly about how fatherhood changed him. In his final interview on the Hot and Bothered podcast with Melissa Ford, he shared how becoming a father later in life shifted everything. He also reflected on grief, saying he learned at 15, watching his grandfather pass, that grieving is for those left behind, not the departed. Those words hit hard, especially now. Malcolm's legacy is in every role he played, every note he strummed, every poem he wrote, and every conversation he sparked. He showed us that Black excellence isn't just about accolades. It's about showing up authentically, using your platform for good, and uplifting your community. In his own words, "I'll leave this earth knowing I was a good person." And man, he did just that. On July 20th, 2025, the world lost Malcolm-Jamal Warner in a tragic drowning accident while he was vacationing with his family in Costa Rica. He was just 54. According to reports, he was caught in a strong ocean current at Playa Cocles, and despite efforts to save him, he passed away. The news shook Hollywood, with tributes pouring in from stars like Angela Bassett, Wendell Pierce, and Sherry Shepherd, who called him a man of deep goodness and tremendous humanity. But here's the thing. Malcolm's light still shines. His work, his music, his words, they're all still here, inspiring us. Whether it's rewatching The Cosby Show on streaming, listening to Not All Hood, or vibing to his music, we can keep his legacy alive. He challenged us to see Black culture in all its richness, to embrace vulnerability, and to live with purpose. That's the Malcolm-Jamal Warner I'll always remember. All right, fam, that's our tribute to the one and only Malcolm-Jamal Warner. From Theo Huxtable to Grammy-winning artist to podcast pioneer, he showed us what it means to live a life of purpose and passion. If this video moved you, hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more stories about the icons who shape our world. Until next time, keep shining, keep creating, and keep celebrating the legends who inspire us. Rest in power, Malcolm-Jamal Warner, we love you. Peace.